Hey everybody, it's Brigzil here again, playing more World of Tanks. Now, in this video, I am playing as the Tiger II. This is pretty much my favourite tank in the whole entire game. Well, it has become that. To begin with, I wasn't too sure with it, and I've developed quite a nice little rapport for it, and I've spent some gold on it, as you can see with all the camouflage and stuff. So I don't plan to get rid of it anytime soon. Now, this battle is a different one. A lot of the battles that you've seen me in, especially in the Tiger II, they are aggressive, forward-thinking battles. This, on the other hand, is a very sniping, defense, positional battle. To begin with, I'm going to take this position up here, where I can overlook the left side of the map. Let me just zoom out a bit so you can have an idea. Let's pause it there and go on to the drawing tool. So, as I've stated on this map before, the red team will sit on this ridge here and they will start shooting down towards here, down there and down here. The artillery over in this location here, probably in the trees, maybe behind the little ridge village there. And what the AMX-12T here is trying to do is trying to go up here. Let me start that again. This AMX is going to try and get up here and get as many spots, because the spots will do is highlight tanks that are sitting here, probably 2 or 3. I'd have thought maybe 3. At least the TD will be there. So that gives our TD there and our heavy tanks that are sitting on the ridge the ability to shoot at them, pick some off, get some damage done to them, do as much as possible. The Panther is in this position here, is just going to kind of assist as best as he can, depending on what weapon he has. I'm not too sure which weapon he has. I think he has the 88 on it. Means that his penetration is not going to be so great against certain tanks, so he's going to have to pick and choose his targets. As for the people on the ridge, the IS-6 here and the IS-3 and the Tiger II and myself will be able to shoot and penetrate pretty much anything on the map. So, right, if I move over to this side, here we can see the M103, which is basically the big tank that we need to keep alive. It's going to move along in this direction here. They always rush across here, at least some tanks will do. I believe the Type 59 goes across here, as does the Pershing and the VK4502A, and the Tiger II also move that direction there. They go and engage. There's a bit of a battle in this area here, which I don't get involved in until a bit later on. One thing that I have to mention as well is that the Conqueror, which is the tier 9 heavy tank on their side, is going to do this. He's going to move up into this position here and he's going to try and engage from that location. I'm not too sure how well he does. All I know is that there is a battle between me and the Conqueror a little bit later on. Anyway, let's move this along, shall we? So the AMX-12 is trapped at the moment because he fell into the river. He's now moving again. He's going to pop us some targets to shoot at. There's the Panther. Nice target to have. Bear in mind that the reticule, as you see it on the red reticule, as I'd like to call it, is inaccurate in terms of when you're looking at a replay. It's not the same as when you're looking at it in game. It's more accurate to the time. At the moment, it's just portraying a. I mean, if I zoom in a bit, you'll see that the reticule seems a lot smaller, which just seems a bit weird. Anyway, so I'm going to start to engage the JP2. A bounce, which is unfortunate. I do get a side hit on him in a second, which is quite nice. The Tiger is also sitting there like a bit of an idiot, really, because he's a really big target. I get a nice side strafe on him. There's the Conqueror coming into play now. The T-21 scout vehicles not going to last very long, I don't think. But the Conqueror is a slow-moving vehicle, so it's going to take its time. The M103 and the Tiger and the IS have decided to pull back because they've spotted the VK45 and the Type 59, the Pershing, all sitting on that ridge. I think the Super Pershing's there as well. The IS-6 has decided that it would be quite fun to sit on top of the hill and engage the Conqueror. Very silly. And now comes a little bit of an annoyance where we have to turn around and try and take out the T-52 because he's going to start engaging on the artillery. So at the moment we are a little behind. We've lost one more tank to there, 2, we've lost 3. I eventually get the kill. I thought I probably wouldn't be able to get that kill, but I did. The JP2 is taking a bit of hits, so he's going to want to move. And so we find ourselves in a bit of a horrible position, really. I mean, we're even in battle, but I think they have the advantage. The right flank over there, let me just stop it quickly. The right flank here is under constant barrage from there and from the hill, which is just over here. If I get rid of oh, bloody keys. What the bloody keys to get rid of this thing? Oh yeah, I'm on them. Don't want to. The hilltop here with the little village on it where the Pershing and the Super Pershing are also engaging these tanks here, so they're having some fun. The Tiger 2 and the T25-2 here, or /2, are in decent positions. They are behind cover, I believe, so they're not going to get hit too bad. But yeah, what are you going to do? The Conqueror is still in its position in those trees there. Unfortunately, the Conqueror is going to be a heavy influence on the way this battle is going to go. The Super Pershing, the Pershing, the Tiger 2 and Type 59, the VK45 are also going to start engaging. The MO103 there is dead, unfortunately, due to the artillery. Now, the artillery are brilliant in this game on both sides. And you'll start to see tanks die in a second. Now, while this is all talking, I should just pause it quickly. The Comet has started to push the Panther side, so I'm going to try and take it out the best I can. Need to target, get a penetration, but not a hit. Now, at this point, I have to wait. I have to wait because I need to take this vehicle out. So I've got to hope that I get a shot on him. And when I don't get a shot on it, I have to move. And then I stop and then I take another shot. And I get a nice rear end on him there. And the Panther is able to take him out. Now at this point, we've now lost a Tiger 2. That was the Tiger 2. Which was over in this direction here. We've lost the M103. They, on the other hand, lost their Super Pershing, but their normal Pershing is now coming in to engage the IS, along with the VK 45 and the Type 59, which are going to come in this direction here. My job now is I'm gonna circle around like this and park myself there and use my turret to my advantage, because the turret's the best part of my tank. It's got better armor and such, and I don't want to sit on there any longer. The IS-3 is doing a decent job in the middle, and the Panther as well. I'm gonna get some decent shots off on these tanks here. I get one off on the Type 59. And I get a penetration, but I don't do any damage to the Pershing. Now I'm going to move into that position I stated. As you can see on my ammo count at the moment, my ammo count is 15.6, which means I haven't got that much ammunition, so I'm going to have to start saving ammunition soon. I'm also going to have to think about using some gold rounds to get some penetrations when I need them most, so I'm going to define a choice when I would like to do that. So now we're in a little bit of a stalemate. Let me pause it again here. The Tiger II and this Conqueror are having a bit of a fight over here. The Tiger II is going to lose. The T-25 is also being spotted as we speak, and the artillery are going to start lobbing shells into that vicinity. They're also getting engaged from this direction here because of the Type 59, the Pershing, the VK-45, and the Tiger II, which is around this location here. The IS is going to do its best to hold this attack because that is where everything's coming from at the moment. Now, over here, what is happening in the shadows, because at the moment it is a bit of a shadow era, we can't really see much. Now over here where we had the Tiger and the JP2, the JP2 has moved and will appear near where the Conqueror is. The T-29, which is sitting over here, is going to move down the middle and start to engage the IS-3, eventually moving around to this side here. The Tiger is going to do the same. He's probably going to cross like this, up and over the hill, and engage the IS-3 as the IS-3 starts to fall back. The artillery is in position to do as much damage as possible. They do a bit of damage. They don't get too many kills, but they do a good assist, and that's exactly what is needed in this battle. Let's carry on. So the JP2 arrives, and it's going to start to hit the T-71 and the Tiger II. Tiger II is dead. Pretty much 3 hits and it's down. The Conqueror is going to start to move up now. It's in a position where it's going to just move. It has to start moving up. It has to think that it's going to win. The T-71 can't last very long, can it? It can't last very long. It's out in the open, to be honest. The T-25 too takes a hit as it's slowly trying to move back now. The T-71 is also the same. The JP2's moved up, and the Tiger II finishes off the 25-2, but the T-71 manages to get the JP2 out of the way, and the T-29 manages to take out the T-71. So we are trading quite badly at the moment. We are 9 tanks down, they are 7 tanks down, so they've got a decisive lead. Although 2 of their tanks are very low on health, the VK-45 and the Type 59. Now at this point, I have to think that we are in a position where we're going to lose.
We finished him off.
Luckily, I get a shot off on the VK. I'm now going to see what I can do against the Tiger. As I said before, the Tiger over there is engaging the IS-3, as will do the T-29 in a minute. And now I'm really thinking that the defence is, I'm going to have to fall back, because the Conqueror is going to start to move up on this ridge, and I worry that we may lose at this point. The T-29 is now going to basically fuck the IS-3 up with the Tiger in situ, and now that's my decision to move back. I can't help the IS-3. The artillery will do the best job that they can to help out, but unfortunately the IS-3 is going to die because the Conqueror has now decided, instead of sitting on the ridge, which would have been a better position if I'm honest, he could have moved along the ridge and kept himself in cover. Now that I know where he's going to come up, it's pretty self-explanatory what's going to happen when the IS-3 goes down, which it does by the T-29 sand. So now we are 10 tanks down, they are 8 tanks down. The Panther, let me pause at this point here. The Panther, which is sitting over here, that is the most important tank on the whole map. If you exclude myself, of course. I think myself is important, but you can judge that for me in a minute. What the Panther is going to do is, once it realises that there's no point in trying to defend, he is going to move out, and he's going to move all the way around the back side of the map, and he's going to go and cap. The IS and the M41 here are going to try and stop this advance as best as they can. They'll do some damage, but I'm afraid they probably won't do anything of any value, unfortunately. And there's only one other tank, the M12 there, who's going to also try and do as much as possible. So, let me run down what is going to happen here so it doesn't all happen at once and you're all like confused. Let me zoom in a bit more. Actually, let me do this one here. Okay. So we've got the Tiger, the T-29 and the Conqueror. The Tiger is going to move up the hill and he's going to sit in this location here. And he's going to start to try and fire on me. He's going to try and fire on the M12, which is over here. In this direction, behind me. The Conqueror is going to do the same, except for he's going to come up in this kind of direction, in this kind of location, and he's also going to try and engage me as best as possible. I'm going to be sniper tactics here. I'm going to sit behind this rock here, and I'm going to use this cover against the 2 artillery that remain, and I'm going to try and put some pot shots here and there, get as much damage as I can off these tanks. The T-29 is going to come round the side here, and he's going to, in this direction here. I'm going to have a bad time against him. I'm not going to explain much about it, but I will have a bad time against him. Now these 2 tanks over here, the Type 59 is going, or the Tiger and the Type 59, they're going to engage this IS, or are in the process of engaging the IS, and are going to win. I can't speak English. They are then going to move. The Type 59 is going to move into this town, as is the Tiger, to this kind of location around this house here. I'm going to do my best to engage both them and the Tiger and the Conqueror at the same time. Hopefully I'll be able to pick them off one by one. We'll find out. The M12 is going to do its best to just give some damage as much as possible. So the Conqueror comes up onto the hill. It makes a silly mistake by trying to focus on the IS and his side on. So therefore, there was no choice but to win that. The Tiger is also in the position where I thought it would pop up. I missed my first shot. That could be the worst possible thing to happen, but I get a really decent shot off the Tiger. The M12 finishes him off. I'm grateful for the M12. During all this, I am under the threat of artillery fire. It's apparent that they want me dead, and unfortunately I'm not going to allow that to happen. So the Conqueror is now going to pop up again, and I'm going to take it out. It doesn't see me just yet. It's now dead. I do get spotted, yes, and the artillery is going to start raining again. Unfortunately, this rock is just too good for them. Just too good. So let me pause it here now for a final little bit of analysis of what's happening. During all that, the Conqueror has been destroyed. It has been conquered, as it were. The T-29 is in this route here. The M12 is going to run into him, unfortunately. He's going to do a little bit of damage, but not enough. The Type 59 and the Tiger 2 have moved into here. I'm going to say this now. If the Tiger hadn't gone into town and actually come up here and done that, they would have won. They would have won the game. But both the Type 59, the Type 59 and the Tiger 2 decide that this location here is the best for them. They make a terrible mistake in doing that, because you'll see why in a second. So I am in two minds at the moment. I'm stuck, really. What am I supposed to do? Because obviously, through all this, I don't know what is going to happen. All I know is that the T-29's popped up over there. I can't actually see it yet. I'm going to have to wait until it pops up. There's nothing I can do about it. The M12 is just going to have to deal with it the best it can. during all through this, the Panther is going to engage the Hummel and win. And the Panther is going to cap, and he's going to sit on the cap for the rest of the round. Now, during all that, you would have heard the penetration. I did penetrate it. I did track it, but I didn't do any damage, which was unfortunate. I needed to do damage as best as I could. I can't get a proper hit on the tank, so I'm going to have to abandon my attempt. I've switched to gold rounds now as well because I want to do as much penetration and damage as possible. He's going for another move. The M12 gets a nice little hit on him, but the M12 is in danger now. So the Type 59 has now come in to the area, and he moves back, and then he moves forward again. If he'd have moved back, he would have been in a better position because I now take him out. The Tiger II is also pretty much in exactly the same location as the Type 59. Instead, he moves to the right side. I'm going to see if I can get a hit on him. I can't see him yet, and I am now left to try and defend against the Tiger II and the the T29, sorry. So the Tiger II gets a hit on me. A hit that could spell disaster, or it could be a winning hit. Now I get hit again. Now at this point, I am honestly thinking to myself, I've lost. I'm dead. The Tiger II is going to move, and he's going to sit roughly there. He's just going to watch these corners here and pop and try and take me out as best as he can. The T29, I keep saying type for some reason, he's sitting in that location. He's going to start to move this way. Actually, what he does do is he moves in this direction here. I've got to hold out for another 50 odd seconds just to be sure that we can win. We've got to then allow that the Panther doesn't get shot by the artillery. I make the conscious decision to hope that the artillery on the enemy side is focused on trying to get into the cap, or trying to stop the cap on our side, and not focusing on me, because if he focuses on me, he'll be able to shoot me because I'm now on the other side of the rock in a better position. I get a really good hit on the Tiger II. I mean, amazing hit. I'm absolutely overjoyed with that hit. And I get lucky. He bounces. I'm at 59 health. I would have been completely dead. He bounces. I take a couple of extra seconds. And he's dead. The Tiger II is dead. I can't believe my luck. The gold rounds have been worth every penny. The T29 is now in a horrible position because he needs to attack me, but it's too late. The Panther's done the job that it was set. He wanted to cap. He capped. The artillery was really didn't like that one bit. So there we have it. We have what I consider one of the best defensive plays I've ever done, because I needed to hold on. I needed to at least destroy one of those tanks, so when it came to capping, the Tiger II and the T29 didn't overtake the Panther and at least get a draw. I am ecstatic with how that turned out. Absolutely ecstatic. Unfortunately, I didn't get the steel wall. I didn't get the steel wall, unfortunately, but I did get the ricochet award, where you survive a ricochet when you're less than 10% health. So very pleased with that. Anyway, this has been a really long video, and I apologise for the people who didn't have 25 minutes to spare on this video, but I thought it just poignant and useful for me to explain pretty much every step I took during this video. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.